This episode of the Fiction Writers Podcast is brought to you by the Novel Notebook. With each character and each setting, hundreds of details must be compiled and organized. Far too many for a writer, like you, to keep them cataloged in your brain. The Novel Notebook provides the answer. Visit www.fictionwriterspodcast.com/novel and quickly discover how to organize your materials and take your novel to the next level. Welcome to the Fiction Writers Podcast with Lana McAra, where you will discover tips, tricks, and ideas for fiction that is #unputdownable. Here you'll find new energy, new perspectives, new resources, and new ideas that will spark your creativity into a blaze of brilliance. It's easier than you think. Be sure you visit our website at www.fictionwriterspodcast.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now, get out your notebook, tune in, and let's get started.
So why do we put ourselves through it? Writing isn't easy. It's very hard. And yet we struggle, and we backspace, and we cross out, and we try again, and the next day, we do it again. Why? That's what we're going to be talking about today. My name is Lana McAra, and welcome to the Fiction Writers Podcast. Tips, tricks, and ideas for fiction that is #unputdownable. Why do it at all? Now, from someone who is totally addicted to writing, and I have been for 30 years, and I'm not taking a 12-step program for this. I love it, and it's good for me. So why? Why write? And I think the 3 C's that I'm going to talk about today, we probably have more than one of them. Maybe we have all of them. I think I do. The first one is catharsis. We just have stuff inside of us that we want to get out. We have ideas. We have stories. Sometimes maybe the stories relate to something in our past or something that we saw or some interest that we have, but we just need to express it. So catharsis is a reason that people write. And if you're writing for only catharsis, you're probably filling journals. You may be writing some stories, but they are only for you or for your family. Memoirs are cathartic a lot of times. And so catharsis is where we just need to get that expression out. And so we do it. And it doesn't have to be polished at all because it's kind of like therapy. And sometimes therapists actually tell their clients to write certain things. The second reason is contribution. Do you want to help people? I do. And so when I write an article, oftentimes it's for contribution. I want to share a truth or an insight that I recently had. And so I will write an article, I'll put it up on Medium, medium.com. And there are some publications that I submit to as well. And so that is for sharing. Now I take those principles a lot of times and I'll put them inside my novel. I'll have a situation come up and one person will think this or express it to someone else without being too heavy-handed, light touch. But you can put contribution in novels for sure. There are novels that have changed my life forever because of the contribution that they made on me. So you can do contribution writing, fiction or nonfiction, either one. And then commercial. Commercial writing isn't necessarily bad. Commercial writing means you're writing for the public. You want to sell books. And so commercial writing falls into different broad stroke categories, and those categories are the bookshelves. The bookshelves in the library, the bookshelves in the bookstore, they have different categories. So if you write fiction, you are in there with your last name, alphabetically. But also, bookstores have the fiction categories: romance, inspiration, horror, thrillers, on and on, mysteries. So you go into the genre game when you get into commercial fiction. And then if you're writing nonfiction, of course, you have your leadership and your health and your self-help and so forth, different categories. But the contribution is there, yes, but you're also submitting to the public. and you want to have public exposure. You're speaking, you are marketing your books on the social media platforms and doing all of these different things that they tell us that we need to do. So commercial is where you're putting your book out there, looking for reviews, wanting to get more notice, wanting to sell more books. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Millions and millions of people do it every single day. So why are you writing? It's important to know if you're only wanting catharsis, or maybe you want catharsis plus commercial, and you're using the catharsis part to get out the angsty part of you and put it into a book to sell books. That's fine. If you want to be a commercial writer to sell to the public, there are certain things that you need to know about commercial writing. It's not the same as English class. There are other things to think about. There are techniques and tactics that you need to know if you're going to succeed and to show up as a professional in the commercial field or an amateur who doesn't really know what they're doing. And that's one thing I do go into in my course, How to Write a Novel That Sells. I hope that helps you today. My name is Lana McAra. See you next time.
Thank you for tuning into the Fiction Writers Podcast with Lana McAra, where we share tips, tricks, and ideas for fiction that is #unputdownable. Remember to visit our website at www.fictionwriterspodcast.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Fiction Writers Podcast.